Project Management Professional Training Session 17 Part 3. Chapter 8. Study Checkpoint 8.1. Syra Banu is the project manager for the Sequence the DNA of a Buffalo (SDB) project. Match each item in the first column of the following table to the correct item in the second column. Term action. A. Message 1. While developing the schedule, Syra realized that there was a risk involved in the project. So, she put her thoughts into a note that she wrote on her computer. B. Medium 2. She sent the note to the project sponsor. C. Encode 3. She used email to send the message. Term action. D. Noise 4. The sponsor received the message. E. Receiver 5. The sponsor could not understand some of the acronyms and terms in the email message, such as variable number of tandem repeats, VNTR, a central dogma of molecular biology. F. Feedback 6. The sponsor responded to Syra, expressing his concern that he could not exactly understand her concerns. Answers. A. 2. B. 3. C. 1. D. 5. E. 4. F. 6. Study Checkpoint 8.2. Knowing the Plan Communication Management Process, answer the following. Q1. Describe which EEFs can influence this process. Q2. Describe which OPAs can influence this process. Q3. Describe how the documents listed in the output column of Table 8.6 will be updated. Answer. As you are planning to communicate with project stakeholders, the EEFs and OPAs that influence this process are very similar to those that influence the planned stakeholder engagement process. A1. EEFs, examples of enterprise environmental factors that will influence this process include geographical distribution of facilities and resources, communication channels and tools, external local culture and trends, organizational cultures, structure, political environment, personnel policy, and risk threshold. A2. OPAs, these include the organizational policies and procedures about medical, ethics, security, risk, communications, change data management, and so forth. Also, guidelines to develop, store, retrieve, and distribute information. For effective and efficient stakeholder communication, it's important to learn from experience. Therefore, the lessons learned database and historical information are especially useful. A3. The components of the project management plan can be updated with communication planning related changes, such as the communication management plan and stakeholder engagement plan. Communication activities may result in changes in the project schedule, and changes in communication planning may call for changes in the stakeholder register, e.g., the requirements of a stakeholder changed. Chapter 9. Study Checkpoint 9.1. Name the knowledge area for each executing process. Answer. Process knowledge area. Process knowledge area. Direct and meonage. Project work. Manage project. Knowledge. Integration. Management. Acquire resources. Manage project team. Develop project team. Resource. Management. Manage quality. Management. Manage. Communication. Manage stakeholder. Engagement. Communication. Management. Implement risk. Responses. Risk management. Conduct procurements. Management. Study Checkpoint 9.2. Name the processes that will use quality reports as input. Answer. Monitor and control project work, close project or phase, validate scope, manage communications, control procurements. Study Checkpoint 9.3. Knowing the manage quality process, answer the following. Q1. List the organizational process assets that can influence this process. Q2. Which component or components of the project management plan will need to be modified as a result of quality activities? Q3. Which component or components of the project management plan will need to be modified as a result of project execution? Answer. A1. OPAs, the Organizational Quality Management System, including policies, procedures, guidelines, quality templates, including traceability matrix and check sheets, results from previous audits, and quality-related lessons learned from historical database. A2. Scope baseline, schedule baseline, cost baseline. A3. Approach to managing quality in quality management plan. Study checkpoint 9.4. True or false? The main goals of the conduct procurements process are to select the sellers, award procurement contracts to them, and obtain the procurement item. Answer. False. The main goals of the conduct procurements process are to select the sellers and award procurement contracts to them. The procurement item is obtained in the control procurement process. Chapter 10. Study checkpoint 10.1. Use your knowledge of the acquire resources process to answer the following questions. Q1. List some EEFs that can influence the process of acquiring resources. Q2. List some OPAs that can influence the process of acquiring resources. Q3. How are the documents listed for update in the output column of Table 10.2 updated? Answers. A1. EEFs, organizational culture and structure, market conditions, e.g., job market to hire the talent and physical resources, and organization's existing physical and human resources with following information. Geographical locations. Availability. It is important to know whether and when the candidate is available before you attempt to obtain that member. Competency. Does the candidate have the skills needed to complete the schedule activities? Experience. Has the candidate performed similar work well in the past? Interests. What is the candidate's interest level in this project and in the work that will be assigned to him or her? Cost. What is the cost attached to each candidate in terms of pay? This is even more important if the member is a contractor. A2. OPAs, organizational policies and procedures about acquiring, selecting, and assigning human and physical resources, templates and forms, and lessons learned and other historical information. A3. Document update reasons. Resource management plan record your experience of obtaining and selecting resources, which technique works the best, etc. Cost baseline in actually acquiring and assigning resources, cost and. Hence cost baseline may change. Project schedule may change due to conditions like if one or more activities took longer to finish, or the resource availability, etc. Resource requirement may change due to change in resource requirements, need for new or different resources, etc. Resource breakdown. Structure, RBS. Obtained and assigned resources need to go into RBS. Stakeholder register during this process, new stakeholders will be joining, and information about some old stakeholders may change. Risk register new resources, new assignments bring new risk with them. Lessons learned register record your experience of obtaining and selecting resources, which technique works the best, etc. Study checkpoint 10.2. Each comment in the first column of the following table points to a conflict resolution strategy. Match each comment with the corresponding strategy in the second column. Comment conflict resolution technique. A. Let's have a face-to-face meeting and hear out both parties. 1. Avoidance/withdrawal. B. Both of you have to meet halfway, you can't get everything all the time. 2. Competition/forcing. C. I'm the one who is running the show here, and I have made the decision. 3. Compromising/smoothing. D. Okay, I see your point now. I was thinking more at a personal level. Your view is more compatible with the project's objectives. I guess for that reason I can live with your approach. 4. Accommodation. E. You guys are not even listening to my argument. I feel I'm wasting my time. So, I'm not going to discuss it with you any longer. 5. Collaboration. F. Let's sit down, talk it out, and design the best solution that is good for all parties. 6. Confronting/problem solving. Answers: A. 6. B. 3. C. 2. D. 4. E. 1. F. 5. Study checkpoint 10.3. Each comment in the first column of the following table points to a management theory in the second column. Match each comment with the corresponding theory in the second column. Scenario motivation theory. A. The management is real nice to the employees, and there are lots of perks. But I'm more concerned about my career path once I join this company. 1. Maslow's hierarchy of needs theory. B. Engineering manager Bob has a habit that employees don't like. Every time he passes by a cubicle of an employee, he always peeps at the computer screen over the shoulders of the employee to see what the employee is really doing on the computer. 2. Herzberg's motivation hygiene theory. C. Rachel Yanovich quit her project management job with the Goo Goo Gaga company immediately after winning the California Super Lotto. She said, "Well, my money problem is solved. Now I will do what I always wanted to do." 3. McClelland's achievement motivation theory. D. I'm not going to attend this seminar. Basically, I'll be listening to their pitches all day long. What are the odds that I'll win the door prize? 4. McGregor's XY theory. E. Kushal did not really like the assignment, but he did it anyway because he did not want to let his manager down. 5. Expectancy theory. A. 2. B. 4. C. 1. D. 5. E. 3. Chapter 11. Study checkpoint 11.1. Q1. Knowing the managed communication process, how do you think the documents listed for update in Table 11.1 would be updated? Q2. Why do you need the project stakeholder engagement plan for performing the managed communication process? Answer: A1. The communications management plan would be updated due to changes in the communication approach, and the stakeholder engagement plan due to changes in communication strategies or requirements. Accommodating the communication activities may change the project schedule. Arising communication issues and risks will generate the need to update the issues log and risk register. You will also be updating the lessons learned register with lessons learned from performing this process so as to subsequently use it to perform this process more effectively and efficiently. A2. Because the project stakeholder engagement plan describes how to use stakeholder communication strategies to engage the stakeholder in the project. Study checkpoint 11.2. Knowing the managed stakeholder engagement process, answer the following. Q1. Describe which EEFs can influence the process of identify stakeholder. Q2. Describe which OPAs can influence the process of identify stakeholder. Answers. Q1. EEFs. Examples of enterprise environmental factors that will influence this process include geographical distribution of facilities and resources, communication channels, external local culture and trends, organizational culture, structure, political environment, and personnel policy. Q2. OPAs include the organizational policies and procedures about medical, ethics, security, risk, communications, change management, etc. For effective and efficient stakeholder engagement management, it's important to learn from experience. Therefore, the lessons learned database and historical information are especially useful. Study checkpoint 11.3. True or false, a stakeholder is proposing something that is not within the planned scope of the project. The appropriate response to this proposal is to oppose it. Answer: false. A project manager is not a de facto opponent to change, instead, you should be an agent for change. Your response should be to evaluate the change for its effects on the project and then put it through the approval process, where it may be either rejected or selected.